Hi, everyone. Just want to thank you so much for coming. We're getting a few technology things figured out, so we're going to hold here for just one more minute, and then we can't wait to share with you these beautiful performances. So thank you so much. Just want to thank
All right. Welcome, everyone. How are y'all doing this evening? Welcome to tonight's production and the end of term of Acting Authentically. A lot of the work is going to speak for itself. So I'm going to let that happen and we can have a conversation about it afterwards. But more or less, these wonderful group of talented people have gone out of their way to truly dive into what it means and feels like to be vulnerable. Um, to be vulnerable, to be messy, to study your archetypes and whatnot is really the only true way to authentically portray character. Because if we don't have a realization of all these parts of our own selves, we can't ever actively be as authentic to the character we are portraying. So these students have done a wonderful job in diving right in. And without further ado, I'm going to go straight into the first exercise. And this exercise is called Aimless Wandering via Text. And so every class we start with, Lauren does a physical warm up, and then we go into what's called aimless wandering. And that more or less is to follow the body's impulse. We spend so much time in our brain and in our narratives that we don't take in account the fact that our bodies are what hold most of the emotion that we receive on the daily. So to get everybody out of their day and back into their body, we follow the impulse. So we invite everybody to lay down. All the students can please do so. By all means, if you feel like you need to sit or stand, we respect that as well. And as this started to move on throughout the course, I recognized that there was something, Lauren and I recognized that there was something really beautiful going on in regards to the embodiment of their selves. So I had them write 6 sentences about where they were right now. They may have changed that. I said that they could have done that last week as well. So we're going to show you what following the impulse is, and this is an embodiment warm-up. It's important that you all see this. And via that, we're going to move into text, which is their own chosen written text that they're being vulnerable to share enough with you as they discuss what it is to be themselves in their own body. All right. Yes, everybody, if you're not unmuted, you want to do that as we begin. And there is no right or wrong way to do this instruction. It's really to just follow the way your body wants to move. For some of us, we spend so much time at a desk or standing that we never take into account the beautiful places that we have, like our hearts and our spinal cords that give us our life energy. Throughout the course, we added in different kinds of sound. So by all means, folks, you want to breathe into the areas that you are following the impulse for. Ha. 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 It's like a first thought, best thought. To be honest when you speak is to say exactly what comes to mind, even if it's possibly not what you really mean. Well, with the body, it's the same thing. We want to follow what it wants to do. Now, we spent a lot of time in this class discussing tension and how, what is tension, more or less? And we came up with many definitions, but while I teach this exercise, it is the space in between. So if your hand is going up towards the sky, you want to root your pelvis into gravity, and all of that space, all of that holds your power. What do you smell? What do you sense? What do you taste? How many of you have put your head on the ground and massaged your scalp? We've got so many nerve endings in our feet, all of these body parts are integral when we are performing on stage. We are not just a talking head. We are not just somebody with arms that are cut off at the wrists. There's a follow through. All right. Gong.
You always do this. Why can't you just feel joy? It's okay. Bad stuff, the nightmares, the guilt, they're always going to be there. You always do this. Why can't you just feel joy? It's okay. The bad stuff, the nightmares, the guilt, they're always going to be there. Always do this. Why can't you just feel joy? It's okay. Bad stuff, the nightmares, the guilt, they'll always be there. You always do this. Why can't you just feel joy? It's okay. The bad stuff, You know, the nightmares, the guilt, they're always going to be there. You always do this. Why? Can't you just feel joy? It's okay. The bad stuff, the nightmares, the guilt, they're always going to be there. You always do this. Why can't you just feel joy? It's okay. The bad stuff, the nightmares, the guilt, they're always going to be there. You always do this. Why can't you just feel joy? It's okay. The bad stuff, the nightmares, the guilt, they're always going to be there. You always do this.
Gong.
And come to think of it on this FOMO thing, there's a whole movement to do less. Like instead of a to-do list, there's a whole trend to making a do not do list. It's right up there with no is a complete sentence. That is a hard sentence for me to get out of my mouth. Is it because I like to talk and stopping at one word is nearly impossible? No, that is not the reason. And come to think of it, on this whole FOMO thing, there's a whole movement to do less. Like, instead of a to-do list, there's a trend to do not do list. It's right up there with no is a complete sentence. That is a hard sentence for me to get out of my mouth. Is it because I like to talk? And so stopping at one word is nearly impossible. No, that is not the reason. And come to think of it, on this whole FOMO thing, there's a whole movement to do less. Like instead of a to-do list, there's a trend to do not do list. It's right up there with no is a complete sentence. That is a hard sentence for me to get out of my mouth.
Gong.
Floor is such a comfortable place. The world is spinning, increasing its pace. Nobody is sick or dying. So why do I hear the crying? How can we stop this river of tears? Close your eyes. The world disappears. The floor is such a comfortable place. The world is spinning, increasing its pace. Nobody is sick or dying. So why do I hear the crying? How can we stop this river of tears? Close your eyes. The world disappears. Floor is such a comfortable thing. The world is spinning, increasing its pace. Nobody is sick nor dying. Yet I still hear the crying.
Gong.
One step forward, 2 steps back. Every task completed unveils more unfinished work. I want to sit and take a break, but the world does not reward a rest. Who made these rules? And why can't we change them? One step forward, 2 steps back. Every task completed unveils more unfinished work. I want to sit and take a break, but the world does not reward a rest. Who made these rules? And why can't we change them? One step forward, 2 steps back. Every task completed unveils more unfinished work. I want to sit and take a break, but the world does not reward a rest. Who made these rules? And why can't we change them? One step forward, 2 steps back. Every task completed unveils more unfinished work. I want to sit and take a break, but the world does not reward a rest. Who made these rules, and why can't we change them? One step forward, 2 steps back.
Um,
Well, I finally saw the surgeon last week, only after I tore my new knee. Ow! It seemed okay until I read his summary notes. I wonder who he was talking about. The pain is still there, but some mobility comes back. I finally saw the surgeon last week after I tore the new knee. Ow! It seemed okay until I read his summary notes and wondered, who is he talking about? I still have pain, but I have some mobility back. I finally saw the surgeon last week after I tore the new knee. Ow! It seemed okay until I read his summary notes and wondered who he was talking about. The pain's still there, but mobility is coming back. I finally saw the surgeon last week after I tore the new knee. Ow! It seemed okay until I read his summary notes and wondered who he was talking about. I still have pain, but some mobility comes back. I finally saw the surgeon last week. After I tore the knee, ow! It seemed okay until I read his summary notes, and then I wondered who he was talking about. Still pain, but I get some mobility back. I finally saw the surgeon.
And come to think of this, on this FOMO thing, there's a whole
Always do this.
less. Like,
Why can't you just feel joy?
instead of a to-do
Okay.
list,
That stuff, the nightmares, the guilt,
do not
they're always gonna be there.
do list.
You always do this.
Is it
Why can't you just feel joy?
sentence?
Made these rules.
Okay. All the bad stuff, the nightmares,
Need to get out
guilt,
of my
they're always gonna
mouth.
be there.
Is it because I
What were you talking about? Oh, it's such
You
a
always do this.
and so stopping?
Why can't you just
Oh,
feel joy?
it's spinning, increasing pace.
done last night.
Nobody is sick or dying.
Bad stuff, the
Still
nightmares, the
here
guilt,
crying.
they're always gonna be there.
That is not the reason.
Always do this.
The world is a
Gong,
Made these rules.
gong. Thank you. We've been working with this to clap over Zoom, which is the American Sign Language for clapping. So I just want to give our actors a round of applause. So thank you so much. Next, we're going to move into our open scenes. And so you will see that we have chosen the same scene, but have the same scene in two different groups. And those groups were allowed to direct themselves, to come up with characters on their own, to create a backstory, which is what we call devising in theater. So Bradford and I helped to mold them, but these are really authentic, beautiful creations that they have worked on their own within their groups. So I'm going to get everything aligned and we will start the scenes. Actors, I will move around some screens and then give you the okay when we are set. So if you just give me 1 second, thank you. Lori and Grace, does that look correct to you?
Right now, she's top left and I'm top center.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Thank you for holding.
Saul, get rid of your camera.
Okay, Lori and Grace, I think we're gonna have to just move on as is.
Okay,
So you guys
that's
look around,
fine.
take a deep breath, and then whenever you're ready, you can begin.
Okay.
doing?
Can't you tell?
Well, I think so, but
It should be obvious.
you shouldn't.
I know.
I mean, I really wish you wouldn't.
You should have thought of that.
Can I make it up to you somehow?
I really doubt it.
Stop doing that and really listen to me.
You don't recognize no, do you?
I just asked you to listen.
I said no. That's it. Ugh.
Shoot.
Ugh. Ugh. Ow!
Oh no.
Can you?
No, here. Use this.
Come on.
I told you to be careful.
It just happened.
There, let me see.
Where are you going? And leave me, or you can't leave me here.
You stay here. I have to get help.
No, please, one more time. Try it again.
Just stay here. I'll be right back.
Ow.
Thank you so much. We'll give another applause to Grace and Lori. Beautiful job. Thank you, thank you. And then the next group can set up, take a deep breath, and then begin whenever you feel ready.
What are you doing?
Can't you tell?
Well, I think so, but you're muted, Saul. You're muted.
It should be obvious. Yeah, this from the top.
What are you doing?
Can't you tell?
Well, I think so, but
It should be obvious.
you shouldn't.
I know.
I mean, I really wish you wouldn't.
You should have thought of that.
Is this because of what I did?
Partly, yes.
Mostly no.
Well, can I make it up to you somehow?
I very much doubt it.
Stop doing that and really listen to me.
You don't recognize no, do you?
I just ask you to listen.
I said no, and that's it.
Shoot.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Can you,
Here, use this.
come on.
I told you to be careful.
It just happened.
There, let me see.
Where are you going? And leave me here. You can't leave me here.
You stay here. I'm off to get help.
Oh, please, one more time. Try again.
Stay here. I will be right back.
Ah! Scene.
Thank you so much. Brilliant work. Let's give a big round of applause to both groups.
Good work, everyone.
Thank you so much.
All right. It was so cool to see those open scenes, because when you take something and you use the exact same words, sans punctuation of any kind, you really see just how important dialogue and action is, because it can change the narrative completely. So wonderful work, everyone. To finish us off, there's a poem that I found to be very apropos, and it is timeless. It's a poem written by May Sarton, and it's called Now I Become Myself. And that's why I thought it was appropriate for acting authentically. So we broke this up, and each person has a role within this poem. And if I had to describe the poem, I would say it is the art of being yourself. All right, we begin.
Now I become myself. It's taken time, many years and places. I've been dissolved and shaken, worn other people's faces, run madly as if time were there, terribly old, crying a warning.
Hurry, you will be dead before. What? Before you reach the morning? Or the end of the poem is clear? Or love safe in the walled city? Now to stand still, to be here, feel my own weight and density.
The black shadow on the paper is my hand, the shadow of a word, as though shapes the shaper, as thought shapes the shaper, falls heavy on the page, is heard. All fuses now, falls into place, from wish to action, word to silence.
My work, my love, my time, my face, gathered into one intense gesture of growing like a plant. As slowly as the ripening fruit, fertile, detached, and always spent, falls, but does not exhaust the root.
So all the poem can give, grows in me to become the song made so and rooted by love. Now there's time, and time is young. Oh, in this single hour I live all of myself and do not move. I, the pursued who madly ran, stand still. Stand still and stop the sun.
Stand still, 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 and stop the sun.
Stand still. Stand still and stop the sun.
Thank you, everybody. All right, I'll turn this over to Lauren. Well done, everybody.
Beautiful work. And that is the end of our showcase for this evening. I speak for both Bradford and myself when I say how proud we are of these performers. We've done this for now 8 weeks, and I think of that first day where there was hesitation and there was nervousness and there was this shakiness or hesitancy to get out of our shells, and to see these scenes have come so far, and to see the aimless wandering turn into this beautiful performance art piece. I'm just bursting with joy and with pride that these fabulous people went on this journey, decided to take an acting class during a pandemic, decided to do so over Zoom and deal with the whole world of technology and performing for a computer screen. So just want to say thank you and brilliant, brilliant job. Bradford, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, I just want to say your commitment, your bravery, your willingness to take some strange things that Lauren and I presented to you. And by strange, I mean, I don't find them, we don't find them strange, but they're not necessarily used all the time in a traditional acting class. But that's part of what it is to be a professional performer as well. I think as a person too, the willingness and the ability to adapt and to find within what has been given to you, what feels authentic to you. And that means failing often. And so I really appreciate your effort and your grace in all of this.
Absolutely. Well, we just want to say thank you for everyone tuning in at home. This is our farewell to all of our guests. And we just want to say, you know, keep an eye out on Verge Theater. There's a lot of cool things coming. So absolutely stay in touch with the Verge, and we'll see you later. Have a good evening.